If you clicked on this video expecting illegal Yu-Gi-Oh cards to be some smattering of Yu-Gi-Oh cards distributed under rare circumstance by Konami to never actually be used in a duel, that's exactly what they are. Because unlike cards locked up on the Forbidden and Limited list, these cards are explicitly branded with the text, "This card cannot be used in a duel," making them Yu-Gi-Oh's illegal cards. The vast majority of illegal Yu-Gi-Oh cards are prize cards, cards given away to top-performing duelists at official Konami-sanctioned events. More specifically, these prize cards are almost always monster cards with a match-winning effect. Pretty much every single one of them has some variant of this effect. If this card attacks your opponent's life points directly and makes them 0, the controller of this card wins the match. For the less Yu-Gi-Oh fluent people in the crowd who are confused because shouldn't every card that brings your life points to 0 be considered a match winner? Well, remember that Yu-Gi-Oh is played in best of 3 matches. Essentially, winning by one of these effects would net you a free cheesed win, assuming they don't surrender before you hit them. Unfortunately, the vast majority of these match winners are just a 3-card summoning condition and their match winning effect. Extremely formulaic given that they'll never actually see any play. But they do differentiate themselves through flavor, as the actual artwork and name is usually focused around the location which hosts each championship prize card. For example, the Twin Kings, founders of the Empire, being based upon the critically acclaimed Roman Empire and its legend of the wolf-raised Romulus and Remus given out during the World Championship held in Italy. With the release of the Legendary Collection back in 2010, duelists were given unique access to special versions of the Egyptian god cards. On first pass, these anime reprints look identical to the real playable ones, but the difference lies in their text box. Instead of listing the summoning condition of 3 tributes, it's numerous lines of defensive abilities, or it's "we have Raigeki at home" effect to destroy all monsters your opponent controls at the cost of another 2 tributes. We instead get the colorful flavor text, "The descent of this mighty creature shall be heralded by burning winds and twisted land. And with the coming of this horror, those who draw breath shall know the true meaning of eternal slumber." Very edgy words for a card that is more or less just a 4000 attack, big beefy beater. Slifer the Sky Dragon specifically has a weird quirk where his attack is denoted with a X1000 rather than the Yu-Gi-Oh PSCT mandated standard of ? Furthermore, many illegal cards are based off iconic anime characters and their catchphrases. For example, GX's Jaden and his "Get Your Game On." Get Your Game On has the effect, you can only play this card if you were present at the 2007 Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game World Championship. The attack of all your elemental hero and Neo-Spacian monsters on the field is doubled. Also, this one has slightly different card text, not usable in official duels. So, if you were one of the people present at the 2017 World Championship, you have about $300 to spare, and you have the burning desire to cave your friend's face in with your elemental hero monsters, you know what to do. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal had a bunch of illegal cards printed, specifically for the Japanese OCG release. Winning Formula has the effect, if only your opponent controls a monster, declare "The winning formula is complete." Special summon 1 number Xyz monster from your extra deck, except a number C monster, then attach this card to it as material. Another card that requires you to shout out iconic anime catchphrases is Creator of Hope. Creator of Hope has the effect, at the start of your draw phase, if your life points is lower than your opponent's and this card is in the graveyard because this card in your possession was destroyed by an opponent's card, by battle or card effect, and sent there since your last draw phase, you can shout, "I'm feeling the flow!" Choose 1 card from your deck and place it on the top of your deck. To complete the trio and double dipping as a match winner, we have Creator of Miracles. Creator of Miracles has the effect, you can declare Zexal Field, and then target 1 number C39 Xyz monster you control. It can attack directly this turn. Also, if you activated the effects of Creator of Hope and Winning Formula during this duel, apply the following effects. When the targeted monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you win the duel. Now, I'm not really sure why these cards are illegal, and I really hope it's not because they make you do weird, zany things. After all, it's more or less written into the game. Now, the most iconic card on this list is easily the Seal of Orichalcos, not only because of its anime relevancy, but also because it might have the single strangest piece of text ever written on a card game card. This version of the Seal of Orichalcos has the effect, this spell card is impervious to negation, destruction, and removal. Increase the attack power of all your monsters by 500. This next part's the doozy, stick with me. You control a back row of monsters that cannot be attacked, while a monster is in the front row. Send this card from your hand to the graveyard to negate and destroy any card. The soul of whichever duelist loses this duel is forfeit to the winner. Last but not least, we have the only card on this list that reads like any other actually playable Yu-Gi-Oh card, Card of Last Will. Card of Last Will has the effect, if the attack of a monster you control becomes 0 by a card effect, draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. Of course, this card is extremely powerful and would very likely find itself hard stuck on the ban list alongside the other draw a million cards, but what's really interesting is that this card, which is clearly meant to be printed fan service given its accessibility in the Legendary Collection 4 Joey's World, the card actually had its card effect changed from its original anime effect. The original anime effect of Card of Last Will reads something more like, activate only when the attack of a monster you control changes. Draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. Which just begs the question, why nerf a card that you were never gonna let people play with anyway? Unless you were worried about its impact on the underground illegal dueling meta. So maybe it's better that most of these cards stay illegal. But then again, unless you're really good at Yu-Gi-Oh, chances are you weren't getting your hands on most of these anyway.